Hello everyone. Today I'll introduce to you the IBM Garage Experience Platform and the capabilities it has to offer. This platform was built to accelerate most of the IBM Garage practices, and we have empowered it with generative AI capability to give any user, no matter their level of experience, industry domain knowledge, when executing some of these practices. This platform allows you to monitor several success metrics as you perform activities within the platform. To introduce the IBM Garage Experience Platform, let's start from the performance dashboard. In this dashboard, you see the vote metrics that we mentioned before. These vote metrics represent velocity, outcomes, technical depth, and employee engagement. In velocity, you can see two metrics: efficiency of the squad, which is the percentage of the work they completed against the work they have planned in the last iteration, as well as the velocity of the squads in the last iteration. For outcomes, we see three parameters. The first one is the volume of the opportunity or the size of the business opportunities they've identified so far. And then the actual return on investment from whatever opportunity we already launched. The other thing is also when we complete epics or we complete all the user stories of an epic, this epic is considered, a program epic is considered realized. So the value of that program epic is being captured as well. Productivity, this is the capacity or the capability that the squads have against time that's been eaten by impediments. So as you have more impediments, the more this productivity will drop. And then finally, squad health is measurement of the sentiment of the squad over time. The screen you see here, or the view that you see here, is a representation of the business opportunity pipeline. So each one of these is a different business opportunity. And we're able to see what is the state that's in, what is the identification date, delivery date, and projected profit value from this opportunity. You can also see here in this chart a representation of the feasibility of these opportunities against the importance of the opportunity. Importance is measured as the average of desirability and viability. You can also get a table view for these opportunities here, so you can have more details in a simpler view. On the right of the pipeline, we can see the distribution of the business opportunities that we have so far across all the different states that we have. So for example, queued business opportunities, these are ones waiting for the garage board to make a decision on. So if we want to know what is the volume of work that's waiting for the garage board, it's 374.8 million of value that's waiting on the garage board to make a decision. If we scroll more, we will see the impediments. These are the escalated impediments, which means these are impediments that the squads themselves are not able to deal with internally, and therefore they escalated these so somebody from the garage board can support them on addressing them. On the right of that, you see the garage maturity. This is a 9-dimension chart that covers some of the key practices of garage and evaluates the team that's conducting this garage against these 9 different dimensions. So there is a steps through questionnaire that we go through to come up with these numbers. Eventually, we recommend that these will be conducted every quarter, and then we see progression in adoption of garage practices. Next, we see the outcomes. This is the projected value of outcomes that we have and the actual realized value of the outcomes so far. And here we can see the squad efficiency. Squad efficiency is for each squad. So if I focus on one squad, I will see what is the efficiency of this squad. As squad are not able to complete the work they had planned, their efficiency might drop, and then we need to know what is the reason. There might be a valid reason for that drop. The other thing that we have is productivity. Productivity is a measure of the capacity of the squad that we have at a certain point in time against the time lost due to impediments. So if we have impediments and they're not addressed, they keep eating up from that productivity. And squad health is, as I mentioned, is the sentiment of the squad. So if we look at that one squad, you can see their sentiment changes across time. And we have a more detailed view that I will see in a minute that will explain this a little bit better. But as their sentiment goes up, means they are effectively collaborating very well in the squad. If it drops down, then there must be a reason and that needs to be addressed. Another view that we have is at the garage overall. So this is called a workspace. Every garage has um, an overall, which is for the entire garage, and then we segment within that garage different sections where different portfolio of products can be combined together, so that if we create pain points or research or anything, it's all related to that specific area. So this is the workspace level. I can go to the garage overall and it gives me a more elaborate view. It shows me all the business opportunity across all the garages. These numbers are going to be across all the garages, and if I click on them, I can drill down and see in which workspace these things are. Same thing for the outcomes, productivity, all of that will be across the different workspaces within the garage. So here it has the opportunity pipeline, it has the breakdown of the work across the different stages of an opportunity, as well as impediments and maturity for the entire garage. So it averages the maturity of every workspace. There's another performance dashboard, and that is at the squad level. So if I look at this squad, for example, I can see their efficiency, their velocity, their productivity, and their squad health in one view. Here we can see their efficiency over time. We can see also their productivity and time lost due to impediments. So all this green is time lost due to impediments. And then finally, we can also see their squad health, which is the sentiment of the squad over multiple iteration. Here we can see the breakdown of the different parameter of squad health. So for example, if we look at clarity, it looks here like clarity dropped. So the squad leader can come in and during the retrospective, they can make a decision on how they're going to address this drop, what is the reason for it, and how to address it. This survey is conducted anonymously, and it is sent before every retrospective. So these are the performance dashboard for IGX. But IGX, like I mentioned, you don't enter any of this data to do the work. It actually generates all the data as you do the different practices. And here are different practices. Project management. So whenever we start a new project, we need to do project management. Value orchestration. This is where we identify strategic initiative and create value trees. AI insight, when we do design research, the research on a specific company, or create a persona, develop a journey map. All of that can be done with AI insights. Pain point tracking, this is about identifying, conducting research, capturing observations, and generating pain points. And as well as on top of that, when we do the envisioning workshop, creating the solution hypothesis, and then coming up with the program epics. All of that is in this module. Business opportunity, this is where we focus on a specific business opportunity, detail it, and create its value. Value statements, these value statements are created as part of the business opportunity to capture what is the total value of the business opportunity. And squad health is where we create the employee engagement, create these surveys to be sent before every retrospective so we can capture employee engagement. Impediments is where we identify impediments and track them to closure. And the garage maturity is the assessment of the level of adoption. So let's dive deep into each one of these and have a quick look at it. So I'll look at one of our previous projects. This project is integrated with Jira. So what you see here is data coming from Jira into our platform through an integration bridge that we have, and we're able to integrate with Jira at IBM or an external Jira. So if the client have their own Jira instance, we're able to integrate with that and populate data from there into the platform. We basically track the tasks that are to do, in progress, and done across multiple iterations, and that is how we calculate both the efficiency and the velocity of the squads. There is also another option here where we can do our own local iteration management within this tool, which means we will have iterations, and within these iterations, we can create tasks, and within these tasks, we can actually assign them to people, estimate them, and progress them throughout the life cycle. So for example, if I have a task here and I started working on it, I can put it in progress. And when I complete it, I can move it to done. It has a backlog of activities. If I define some backlog, and I'm able to drag these into the iterations as I do the iteration planning and the increment planning. It tracks releases. It also tracks epics that we have and the relationship of these epics to the different user stories. There is also reports that shows you for a specific squad, how is the progress for that squad. So here you can see the burn down chart and then how they're closing all the activities that they have. It also tracks for each member of the squad how many issues they have and the effort that they contributed to this iteration. In the iteration view, there is also a calendar view, and this calendar view allows you to have visibility to all the activities that you have across the different iterations. Within an iteration, you can see also all the activities. If you put dates for them, you can see them in there. You can also see dependencies between different activities. So that is the project management. Value orchestration. This is probably the most important functionality of IBM Garage Experience. It has the ability to allow you to create strategic initiative and map these strategic initiative to a value tree consisting of value pool, value drivers, and value levers. It's able to do that with generative AI, and you're also able to do it manually if you want. And it can do it at each stage of this value tree. As part of creating this value tree, we're also able to assess the value from the pain points that we identify and then map that back to the value tree so that we can see how much a pain point or a solution contributes to a specific strategic initiative. So if I can come, I need to select one of the trees to manipulate it. And then once I manipulate the tree, if I want to see what is this program epic contributing to, I can see that this program epic is contributing 42.5 million as part of this pain point to this strategic initiative of 170 million. And we're able to map these program epics to the features and the user stories that are related to it. So if at one point somebody asks, why are we working on this user story? You can actually justify because it's going to help generate the 70 million that you see here. We're also able from this value tree to create and associate the pain points and program epics, but there is a special section for that in the pain point tracker to do that if you want. So let's go to AI Insights. AI Insight is where we can create research. We can generate a persona, create an empathy map, run an annual report on a company, things like that. And then based on what we capture, we're able to create insights. And that insight is able to create tagging, and we're also able to create insights from the information that we capture from whatever prompt and research we've done. So it's a design research tool available within the IBM Garage Experience that integrates with IBM Cloud Assistant to allow you to gain access to models to do research. You can change the model here to any of these models. Next, let's go to the next item, which is the pain point tracker. As I mentioned before, you can create pain points directly from the value tree, but usually there is a process to progress to identify a pain point. First, you would need to capture what we call an observation. By capturing an observation, this comes from the research we do, either through interviews or through wide-scale surveys that we send out and capture information from. We can add details to when that survey was run, how many people were involved, and so on. From these observations, we can come to a conclusion of what is a problem hypothesis. So for example, this is a problem hypothesis, and it is based on this observation. You're able to comment, interact with other people, and mention other people to let them know of a comment that you sent. Once a user story is identified, then it goes into a workflow. It starts with pending, then we raise it, then it gets reviewed by the product owner, then we test it with a sponsor user. Once it's proven, that problem hypothesis will turn into a pain point. Once we have it as a pain point, then we can assess its value, can assign a value projection for it, and we can also use it as part of what we call the envisioning workshop to identify possible solution. So these solutions that we define during the envisioning workshop are these solution hypotheses. Solution hypothesis is like a problem hypothesis. The difference is it's actually a solution. And as part of defining this solution, we can also assess how much of the pain point it is addressing. Once we've identified it, we need to validate it. And the way we validate it is we create prototypes, and these prototypes allow us to validate that this is a valid solution. And then what will happen is we will move it to proven. Once that happens, it turns into a program epic. And once we have it as a program epic, this is where we are able to associate the value to it. So for example, here, I can look at this one, and I can check what is the total value that is contributing to the pain point, how much of that pain point is actually addressing. And that's how we calculate its value. There is also a tracker dashboard that tracks how many pain points do we have, how much pain do we have compared to how much solutions we're addressing, and the value of these solutions. So it's just a mapping, a direct mapping between the pain points and the solutions that we're proposing. So the next item after that is business opportunities. Business opportunities, as I mentioned on the previous chart, these are created by the program epics and the solution that we're presenting. We're able to generate these. So if I go back to the performance chart, I can look at one of these business opportunities. I can click on it, and then I'm able to get into it. I will see what is the problem we're trying to address, what is the customer that's related to that problem, what is the solution we propose it. And then there's a lot of other elements like the competitive landscape, value proposition, business value. And all of that can also be generated with AI. So if you already did all the previous steps, you can click on Generate with AI, and it will propose what are all these elements could be for you. You can also run an analysis with AI on the content of this opportunity, and then you're able to assess based on that what is the actual value of this opportunity. So the parameters that I gave you before, the feasibility, viability, and desirability. And that plots it on that chart that we saw before. But most importantly, in the business opportunity, other than all these parameters, including the design and architecture and MVP, roadmap, all of that, is the value projection for the opportunity. The value projection for this opportunity is is based on an assessment of what is the total value that we can generate for this opportunity. This could be done manually by creating your own model, or you can use our wizards here. So we have wizards that can create saving time on a task value, reducing FTE task, production line efficiency, improving uptime. There's also a custom one if you want to write your own formula. These wizards take you step by step and allow you to create a value statement. Then the total value is projected in the business opportunity. Let's look at another business opportunity where that value is already projected and some of it is realized. This is, for example, one of the value statements that was created for this opportunity. And the total value of this opportunity is basically the value of all these value statements. You can see all the different value statements that are coming here. They all make up the value of this business opportunity. In each one of these, we have the projection of value, which is the total value over a duration of time, broken out month by month, the cost of development and the cost of operation. And then on top of that, we have the actual revenue, the actual cost, and the actual operation. This is the only manual piece of data that has to be entered to capture return on investment, because the platform cannot see what's happening in the field. Somebody from the field needs to come in and say, okay, what value have you realized? What is the actual cost of operation? What is the actual cost of development? So all of that is captured here. But once we have all of that information, then we can do projection of how well are we meeting our projection. So you can see here, projection attainment is 22.75% during this month, and so on. Value statements is what we've seen just now. It's the same thing. You can create an independent value statement without having to associate it to a business opportunity or anything if you want to project something. But this is a place where all these value statements sit. Next, we have squad health. Squad health is where you create a survey. And once you create the survey, you assign a specific date for this survey on when is it going to run. You're also able to see the responses to the survey, how many people are responding to the survey for every iteration or every occurrence. So if I take one of these and I put it here, what you will see is this is what the survey looks like. It asks whoever is getting this email, which is everybody in the squad, I feel equipped and empowered to contribute my best to our squad. So if they feel good, they'll answer with a higher score. If they don't feel good, they'll answer with a lower score. This one is about health, work-life balance. Next one is improving your skills as you work with the squad. Next one is sharing your ideas and the openness in the squad. Another one is a common understanding of the goals and you're trying to achieve. So understanding why you're doing this work. Priority, is the work you're working on important or not? And last one is about capability. Does the squad have the right capability to do the work that is assigned? So once you submit this, it goes into the system and it's anonymous. The squad leader is able to see it from the performance metric for this individual squad we're looking at. So they're able to come here and see the results. And then impediments. This is where you raise impediments. So you can create a new impediment and then it asks you which squad this impediment is related to, what is the impact of this impediment, and what is the cost in hours of that impediment. Like I said, it eats up from your productivity if it's not addressed for a long period of time. And the last component of the system is the garage maturity. Garage maturity is conducted, like I mentioned, through this survey. You go through all these questions and then it comes back with what is the maturity over time. So here you can see two different iterations of the survey and we can see the difference of values. So here, flexibility dropped. So if this means we are digressing in or regressing in adoption of IBM Garage practices. So we want to take an action to improve that. Another element I didn't show was the teams. So in a garage, you need to create squads. So this is where you create your squad. You have the interface team, which is the core team that supports the garage. And then you have teams that work on different products, different components of the product, and so on. So you can create any teams and then you associate them with what role they play in the garage. And that based on the roles they have, they will gain the required access that they need to perform their activities. Another thing is the setup of the garage itself. So like I mentioned, we're able to integrate with Jira to do the project management component or use local project management or integrate with Jira at IBM. There is also tag management, so we can create, whenever we create tags, we can associate them, we can give them colors and things like that so that we have a consistent tag management across the platform. You can also set the currency of the garage. And at the garage level, we can set an icon or a logo for the garage and also change the currency. I think that's all about IBM Garage Experience. The other thing is the workspaces that I mentioned is within every garage, there'll be multiple workspaces. For example, in this garage, each one of these workspaces is a separate area where we can do everything I showed you. They're completely segregated. They have their own interface team, their own squad, pain points and business opportunities, and everything is managed independently in each one of these workspaces. I hope this demonstration of the IBM Garage Experience Platform allowed you to get an idea of how such a platform can help you accelerate innovation within your organization. Whether you are a large enterprise or a small business, this platform can help you foster the entrepreneurship spirit within your organization. By keeping your focus on what matters for your business, you can generate great business results quickly, thus preventing external disruption.